So this is my Wednesday night show, and it's going to be called A-Sherms Photo Talk, and it's exactly that. We talk about all different things in the photography realm, and it can be anywhere from equipment to techniques, your style, discussing my photos and my style, helping you kind of advance or get started or get to where you want to be in your photography. I feel like I can really help a lot of people out. I mean, I've helped a lot of people out already, and it'd be a really great idea for a Wednesday night. But this idea came from an awesome friend of mine, and I'm really glad she kind of wrote me this Facebook message, and it really kind of was like, oh, why didn't you think of that? Vick Wagner, she is a producer I worked with in LA. She is pretty awesome. She does her own shows, and she's a writer, she's a comedian, she's like super talented on so many different levels, it's ridiculous. But I'll leave a link to her new Facebook. She kind of like tied all her materials into one site, so I'll leave that in case you guys want to check her out. She's such a great person. But getting to my site here, I kind of want to make this first episode more an intro of who I am as a photographer and why you might want to keep tuning in for the Wednesday night show nights. And I just want to start off by discussing my history in cameras and photography. And I just want to begin with, you know, I didn't really have anyone that was a photographer in my family. No one was a paid photographer or anything like that. I didn't have anyone in filmmaking, or I didn't have any link to that world whatsoever, to be honest. All I can remember is as far back as, you know, I don't know, I just remember my mom and dad always had a camera. There were always pictures hung up. Pictures are a really big part of our lives. My mom's really creative when it comes to pictures, and to this day she covers the walls with all these awesome pictures of the family and stuff. And you know, my mom and dad are really creative in that aspect, and I just get a lot of my creativity from them, and that really makes me happy that it kind of runs in the family a little bit. So I remember being a little girl, and with my sister we used to play with the camera. We used to take it, and we used to like put on our little dresses and like pose, and like my mom had a lot of plants in the house and so like we would arrange the plants in the background to make it look like we had like a really nice backdrop. And ever since then, like, I've always had a camera on me. I have always had something with me as a little girl, and I have so many different boxes of different, you know, those little like rolls of film and my negatives, and you know, we're digital now, but like when I was growing up we had the film and everything. And right, I mean, yes, I'm a scrapbooker as well, so like I take the digital photos, print them out, make something, you know, creative on paper. And a lot of people are into scrapbooking. Some people are into the digital scrapbooking, but I just find like making something with your hands is awesome. So yeah, maybe I'll share my scrapbook later on another episode. But that's kind of like my history as a little girl, and getting into high school and getting actually like where I start, you know, to kind of develop what I wanted to do as, you know, when I got older. But I went to McKinley High School in Buffalo, and that was the only school I knew of that had an art program. So, and I knew that I had photography classes, so I was like, I'm gonna get into this school, I'm gonna do the art program, and that's what I did. I waited 2 years to get into the photography. You know, I had all the other fine art, you know, drawing, you know, watercolor, painting, all these things that I had to do to get to the photography, but it was, to me, that was an added bonus. So I loved my art classes, and I always loved art, like the little art classes in like elementary school too, like you're making these little projects and stuff like that. So I guess art has always really been in my life. Another reason why we should keep it in schools, but that's a whole different issue. So yeah, I went to high school, did the whole art program there, and then I kind of transitioned from still to video and camera when I started college. And then from college I've had, you know, I've worked on feature films, documentaries, I've worked on all different kinds of like music videos. I've done a lot of behind the scenes stuff, so I've always kind of had, you know, somewhere along the lines I've always worked with a camera. which, I mean, I'm not saying I'm the best out there, because there's always someone better than you. And I think as an artist, you should always know, like, you know, there's always going to be someone different or better than you, and, you know, but screw that, who cares? Yeah, why you guys should even tune into this. I've been a studio photographer before. I'm not really into it. I don't care for it. I mean, some people love it. Some people are all about models. Some people are all about the fashion of it and all that. That's not me. I want to be a fine art photographer. I'm getting into the process of starting my own business right now. So when I brought it to my family's attention, my mom really wanted me to be a wedding photographer, and I'm just like, no, I don't want to do that. I just did not want to do that. So getting into my business is, I have a personality where I need to be my own boss, and my own business is the only way I'm going to be able to be my own boss. So I'm going to work with that. And taking advice from me, I guess, I've been through, I mean, a different schooling. Obviously, I know the basics. I mean, you can take a look at my art. I'll put some up through this whole thing where you can see some of the shots I've taken, and I've gotten a lot of different feedback on them. So, and also you can probably learn something from the process of me building my own business, because some people don't know where to start. It's a very difficult process, and if I didn't have my sister help me out with like paperwork and like different accounting stuff, then I would just be, you know, like starting my own website, hiring web designers, and like I have to have headshots for me, and it's just like there's a lot of different things that go into making, you know, getting a business going, and maybe you could learn something from that, obviously. And I mean, I will cover different topics, obviously. Like I want to say that I'm not your cookie cutter photographer, because some people are really like, you know, this is what you do, these are the rules you follow, blah, blah, blah. And I got a lot of that when I encountered a lot of photographers on the cruise ships. And I kind of feel like they fall into a different category where, you know, I don't even, some of them have such passion to do the art, fine art aspect of it, but then they fall into the whole, okay, I have to take wedding photography, and I am just hell-bent on do not do a job 40 hours to 80 hours a week that you hate. Fuck that. Like, who wants that? So you know, try to make money off your passion. Like, that is my, if one thing can come across, like, always try and make your passion happen as your career, always. As long as you have fun doing it, it won't feel like you're wasting away, you know, your life in whatever job you're doing. So, me as an artist, as a fine art photographer, I walk down the street every day, whether it be on vacation or I'm walking in, you know, just some lovely beach area, or, you know, I could be going to the cafe, I could be going to lunch with my friends or something. All I know is I'm always around somewhere. I could be in my own house. I could be, you know, with my family or something, and something will hit